now you can Necrons can only be taken out of action on a roll of a 5 or a 6. I don't know why that was so bent over. Maybe that's how it looked. Okay. Anyway, so medics you're not going to use. Heavy specialist, you can add 1 to the number of shots fired by the models of the ranged weapon for the heavy specialist. So the heavy, in other words, the heavy bolter will become 4 shots instead of 3 for 1 command point. This is one of the options. So scout, you're not using sniper. I am using you reroll 1s.
Brandon, say test.
Test.
So you can reroll 1s, and then the tactic for snipers, you use this tactic when you choose a sniper specialist to kill team to shoot with. In the shooting phase, add 1 to the hit roll, so he hits on a 2+.
Nice.
Which is really nice.
You guys are good to go.
Cool. So veteran.
Yep.
This is the one where model gains ignores penalties to leadership characteristics and nerve tests. It's not huge, but the reason why you take it is because the level 1 veteran tactic is start of the first battle round, but before in the initiative phase, so before we determine who goes first, you pick a veteran specialist from your kill team. They can make a normal move or advance. You can only use this tactic once per battle. So you do it before the game starts. You can run into position. It's really good. That's so good in this game. Zealot is you can add 1 to this model's attacks and strength characteristics in a round in which they charge. So who was your Zealot?
I guess a veteran. The combat. I guess this guy. I have a leader, the veteran. Oh, the little guy.
Yeah. So the Zealot is the one with the longy claws.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be your Zealot. So we have a veteran, combat, and Zealot.
Yes.
The Zealot also says that you can use this tactic. Zealot specialist from your kill team in the fight phase until the end of the phase. Each time you make a hit roll of a 6+ for that model, you make an additional attack.
Okay.
So every 6, you get another swing.
He's a Space Wolf.
Well, no, that's
an attack, not a hit.
You get another swing.
He's an orc. He gets smack it.
Smack it. Yeah, it's that. But these additional attacks cannot generate any further.
Yeah.
So I mean they've toned down the game so it's not so overpowered. So they have to do that. I think that's it. So those are the main things that are in this book that we're going to prioritize as far as paying attention to. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm going. Coming around. All right. So
Did you bring a mask?
didn't.
Oh.
So we are back here at the Red Bluff Battle Bunker. Red Bluff Battle Reports. Going to be playing Pariah Nexus today. It's been a challenge to kind of get this all painted up in time, but here it is, and it's done. And we're not playing the kill teams out of the box because this is a kill team expansion. So we are going to take some of the models out of the box and play it. I think we're both using a couple of models out of this box. The new flailed ones and the new heavy intercessors are going to be played, added to the kill teams that we put together. And then, of course, this is Dozer's first time playing kill teams.
Yep.
So
sorry for you hardcore kill team heads out there.
And I haven't
I've never played kill team, and I've never played Necrons.
And I haven't. Yeah, exactly. And I haven't played it about a year. I used to play a lot, and I have played kill teams an awful lot since the very beginning of kill team. So I do enjoy the game. It's a lot of fun. It can be usually done pretty quick, but there are some pretty major differences. I was just going over with Dozer on that. So we're going to go through some of the nuances as we play, and it's going to be a little difficult to formulate a strategy. So we may miss quite a few stratagems. I'll try and, if I see a good spot for you to use one, I'll point it out. Because we don't start with that many command points, if I recall.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I'm going to roll dice and move models.
Correct. Sounds good. Be the circus. Now, this game, like a lot of other Fantasy Flight games, uses tokens and other things that we'll put on the models or near the models for wound characteristics, flesh wound characteristics, those kinds of things. So it's just a different game. This is a 2-dimensional layout. This board expands. This expands on the old Arena Kill Team set that was the first. It was supposed to be their first release of competitive Kill Team, but most of the competitions did not adopt it, just because there were some armies that truly dominated in this format. Tyranids being one back in the day, it was you could swarm with 20 models.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the things they've changed in this edition. Is they've reduced the count of models you could play to 14, so you can't run 20.
Yeah.
Not many armies could field 20, but Tyranids were one. They did really give Marines a boost, in my opinion.
Of course, they're the poster boys.
So a change that they did, another change they did that I've kind of picked up on, when you open a door it does not say put the door aside and you can't close the door. The options in this book just say pull the door. It says remove the door from the board. So you can no longer, once the door's open, it's open. That's going to be a neat change. The other things I really like are they gave us back, all of us, as a general stratagem. I believe it's a general stratagem. It might be an Astartes one. I have to double check. But when a guy would be taken out of action, you can pay 2 command points to give him a flesh wound instead. It used to be 3 command points. They bumped it up to 3 in an FAQ, and then they brought it back down to 2 with this book, which may be a little overpowered for Marines. I see that being a problem. We'll see. Well, if I get an opportunity to use it, I will. Necrons. If you haven't fought Necrons on Kill Team, they're very difficult to uproot. Necrons themselves have an innate built-in reanimation protocol. So when you roll a 6 on the injury roll for any reason, so if I fire a 2-shot dice or 2 damage dice and I roll 2 injury roll dice, then any 6s means that model heals all its wounds and removes all its flesh wounds and back to normal. It reanimates. So we'll be going over a few of these things as we go. I'm going to try and teach kill teams today. That's my goal. And we have 2 teams that we've laid out here. I'll kind of take the... I don't know if we have the board camera
before
open.
we go to that, let's throw out a couple of things here.
Yes, please.
So first off, we'll zoom in close on them, but we want to thank Nexus Game Emporium because they got us the box set on release day. So
On time.
And in a minute, we're going to switch to a lower level view, and John will show you the painting he did, because all the painting for the terrain and the models are done by Battle Ready Brushworks, who is John. And then, John, do you want to give people just a quick heads up what they need to play? Because I was on the instruction when I bought this Pariah Nexus, I was good to go. This is what I needed to play. Do you want to kind of show them what? Because like some people might make the same mistake I do. Go out buy Pariah Nexus and then be like, oh,
yeah.
Well, it says right on the back of the box, Johnny, that it says this is not a standalone game, so you still will need a core.
It says right on the front, expansion.
Well,
But I know, but it's okay. Some of us don't. So if you want to hand me that real quick, you will need, you still will need 2 things to play this game properly. You'll need the core manual, which is the core rulebook for Kill Team. It's still available. Some of these rules have been errated in the change years, but you'll need this to be able to how to build your army, how to make specialists. And there's some missions in here, which is really neat. This is an expansion of the Kill Team Arena box set, which they released a while back. That's what I was telling him. And the Arena box set was the first release of 2-dimensional battlefields. So instead of playing on 3-dimensional battlefields, we're now in a 2-dimensional battlefield. And when you look at the overhead, there are areas that have red lines on them. Those are considered walls, infinitely high. You can't fly over them. You can't move through them because we're in a tomb in this one.
These ones right here? Sure.
Yeah, the ones with the red lines around them, those are considered walls that are basically obscuring. So
you can't walk through there. No.
Nope, you cannot. And these are pitfalls.
Yep.
And pitfalls can be attempted to traverse, but they're very difficult to do. Anyway, so we'll get to all that.
You pay minuses if you're backed up to it and get charged or some such thing.
So there are a few, nowhere to go. There's a trapped if you're up against a wall or up against the edge of a table, and you don't have any place to go when you get charged. There are some penalties to that. There are some penalties to weapons that have a random number of shot characteristic, like flamers and whatnot in close quarters. You roll 2 dice instead of 1, take the highest, those kinds of things. I didn't get into all the rules this game. I built some decent, what I thought would be really good kill teams to show off our new models. Because we did just finish the Necron army for the bunker here. So
on the 20th, you'll see them.
Yep, they'll be coming out next weekend, right?
The 20th, next weekend.
Next weekend, yep. So you'll get to see the army in its full majesty. It's done in a speed painting technique, but the battle ready, of course, just to get it on the field. I mean, I think I spent 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I mean,
whole army from start to finish in 2 weeks.
We gotta go battle ready because we still got Harlequins, Drukhari, and Eldars on the shelf that we're going to try and do over time. But
and we're trying to get a lot of armies available to us so we can play more armies and bring you guys more and more varied reports. So it's not just, no offense, Dozer, not just all Space Wolves.
Yep.
So let's get tucked in and we'll show off these models here real quick, and John can kind of explain real close. So we'll go down to the
wife just bought a airbrush. Grey Knights are on the way.
Nice.
So
you can have fun with
I'm saying that on camera, so we're putting the wife on blast, so that way she's limited time to get them done.
Okay, so I'm going to pick up the board view camera, and I'm just going to show a couple of things. what we've put together today is a couple of kill teams. Space Marine kill team. Just going to show what we've loaded out here. 2 of the heavy intercessors, the new one. We're taking the heavy intercessor sergeant as the leader in this one, and then we're going to do 3 specialists. So this is a combat specialist. He is the Terminator veteran with Thunderhammer and Storm Shield. And then we're actually using this guy as a heavy specialist because I, like a silly guy, didn't build the heavy bolter. So that we're going to count that as a heavy bolter today. And he's going to be our heavy specialist. That's the other heavy intercessor model. And then this is an eliminator with a bolt sniper rifle, and he's going to be our sniper specialist. We're nice and easy to figure out and run with. The Necron kill team's got a few more models. I know we've chosen one to be the leader. Which one was that one again?
This little green-headed guy here.
That guy's going to be our leader. And then we've got 3 specialists for the Necron team.
Combat, veteran, and a zealot.
Zealot, yep. That seems decent. And then we've got a couple more Necrons just kind of as fillers, a couple of warriors with the longer range guns for fire support, and one more combat flailed one. These are some really neat models. The flailed ones were quite difficult to assemble, more so than I anticipated. And I'm just going to run over the board real quick. The mission we've chosen today is Objective Ultima. We're just going to take the first mission out of the book because we're teaching and going over it. These were the red lines I was talking about for the walls. This terrain here, and 3 objectives. This is the loadout. The book actually tells you how to set the table up, and then we will just play on that. So let's see if I can get off camera. Camera, good place.
Pretty
All
good.
right, awesome. We can either use these for wounds on the models if you want, or the black dice, which I frequently will use for wounds. Anyway, so we've got a few things. We're going to go over the mission real quick. So both kill teams have drawn blood, have engaged each other in many confrontations throughout this tomb's shadowy corridors.
He's literally drawn blood.
Teasing the other's defenses with everyone on full alert, further attempts at stealth are futile. No option remains but stand your chosen ground and blunt the enemy's offense completely. So before I go into the rules of this mission, there are some optional rules that you can play with that add to the flavor or the complexity of the game. We are not going to be using those today. We will not be using a specific chapter of Space Marines or a specific set of the Necrons. We'll just be going basic. And again, because this is a teaching game, we're going to try and show as much as we can without going into too much of the complications. We are going to use the stratagems. That's something when I usually start, first off, I try and keep those to a bare minimum. But because they are such a key part of this game, 9th edition 2, you got to have stratagems. That's what command points are for. That's how they work. We're going to have that incorporated into the game. So that's why we chose our specialists, and the specialists have stratagems.
Real quick, John, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I'm sure the people over here, do you have those organized in a certain order, or do you just have them in the binder to protect them? Cards.
Two and two. So I'm going to actually pull out the ones we're going to be using. So basic stuff. There's leader. I'm going to pull out the ones that they're organized by like level 1 medic, 2 medic, 3 medic, 4 medic, or a 3 medic, level 1 scout, 2 scout, 3 scout. So that's how I got them laid out, because if you play campaigns where you would have guys progressing and gaining additional levels, then you would get access to more stratagems on those levels. Your guys would level up essentially,
Gotcha.
which is kind of neat. But there are some basic ones which I'll pull out. So decisive strike, insane bravery, gritted teeth, tactical reroll, decisive move, decisive shot, and those are the basics. We don't have any medics, we don't have any scouts, we do have a sniper, we do have a heavy. I have the cards. You don't have to have the cards to play the game, but I picked them up a while back, and I do like having access to them. It just makes life easier. We don't have a demolitions. Right. Don't have a comms. We do have combats. We do have a zealot. And we're not doing these ones. So for campaigns or any of those fun stuffs. So in the campaign, we got given some more, the basic ones. So these basic ones, I'm going to hand over to you. Those are your basics. And then you have the Zealot, a Combat, and a Veteran.
Mm-hmm.
So those are used. Oh, and a Leader. So...
And real quick, as they run through this game, if you guys have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment, and I'll make sure the judge sees them. We can.
And I may make some mistakes still because this is just it's been a while since I played it, and
we rushed it because you spent most of the time painting. Dude,
I spent probably 40 hours painting this week, but at least 30.
That's dedication.
On top of a full-time job. Combat, heavy combat, and leader. And then sniper, comms, tactic. Heavy drive. Didn't have one with the sniper. So that's my sniper. Okay. Alright, so we've got all our tactics cards for our objectives. That's what we'll be using today. Normally we would have additional ones for like Marines. Marines got some new ones, and Necron's got some new ones. So I do want to try and use those, but they're only in this book because we didn't get cards with them. The only cards that come in the box set are the secondary objectives that we're going to be picking out of for our secondary objectives here. They do come with 2 sets, so we each get a set, which is kind of nice. And we'll go now into the mission. Now that I've got some things laid out and set up. I'm just going to move a few things, and we'll go right into the mission here. So... in this mission, the kill teams are... This mission is for 2 players using ultra-close confines rules, which are on page 22 25. We'll go over that as we go. Each player chooses 3 Pariah Nexus objectives, which are in these cards, and then musters a Battle-Forged kill team. Now, we've already mustered our Battle-Forged kill teams at 100 points. Some people play elites at 125. I just wanted to preview this game, keeping it simple and keeping it down in count to 100 points, which is a basic level kill team. The battlefield is set up in the Crypt of Censure, the board of terrain in which the kill zone Pariah Nexus. Create the battlefield and set up the terrain objective markers exactly as shown on the opposite, which we have done. The players roll off. The winner of the roll off, and a roll off is 2 dice.
Yep.
So you got your dice. Do you want to use the orange ones, or?
I don't care.
You may want to just roll the board, John.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So you got an 8, and I got a 5, so that'll be your first turn. But we're supposed to, winner of the roll-off chooses which deployment zone will be their own. The other deployment zone will be their opponent's. Then players take turns deploying 1 model from their kill team, starting with the player who lost the roll-off. Models must be set up wholly within their own deployment zones. If the player runs out of models to set up, skip this step. Once players have set up their models, deployment ends and the first battle round begins.
All right.
And I think you said you wanted to use the stratagem before the battle began.
Yes, there's
the veteran one.
Yeah, so I get to move my veteran before the battle begins.
Got it. So
I'm gonna run.
You guys set up, do you want to show that to the camera, the deployment zone, so people can kind of see that?
yeah, so the deployment zones are going to be. It's kind of
Down a
difficult to
little
see.
bit, right there, perfect.
So the deployment zones are going to be on either side, so we're going to be playing across the table from each other. It's kind of interesting. It's a 3-inch out and 15-inch for one corner, and then it's a 5 up and another brick in the same side. So we're essentially, if I have tape measures there.
And here's the question, maybe I missed it, but how do you win in kill team? Is it you got to destroy all the models?
It's only 4 rounds, and it's points, just
Victory
like any
points.
other game.
Okay.
So the primary for this game, for this mission, the victory conditions for the primary are supremacy. At the end of the battle round, a player scores 1 victory point for each of the following conditions that they satisfy for a maximum of 3 per each battle round. So there's a maximum of 12 for all the battle rounds. They control 1 or more objective markers. That gets you a point. If they control more objective markers than their opponent, that gets you a point. And if they can, 1 or more of their opponent's models were taken out of action during the battle round, that means removed from the table. Or all of their opponent's models were taken out of action, which will also get you a point.
So those 3 orange things are the objectives.
Those are the objectives, yep. It actually tells you where to place the objective markers and everything. And this literally is a set-up board.
They're 3 inches in direction, like 40K or no? That's
Controlling, I believe it's 2 for kill team.
okay.
You got to be a little closer.
Yeah, it makes sense.
If I recall, I gotta have to verify. It's in the core rulebook, but this is where we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to check a few rules because again, I haven't played this in over a year. It was a really popular thing for a long time. I just had a lot of people kind of drop out after a while and not really play much anymore. So we all what do we call it? We all stepped up to Big Hammer.
Yeah.
So And as you guys like this, let us know, and we'll try and fit in some more kill team.
Yeah, it's a blast. I love it. We've got lots of armies, and you can build a kill team out of almost anything, which is really cool. Oh, yeah. Well, the Tyranids kind of got the big nerf bat, but we'll talk about that later. Tyranids really, really are struggling this edition.
I saw they wanted
kill
GP,
team.
by the way.
Oh, yeah. No, with the list that I've been playing with since I saw it on Art of War months ago, weeks ago. Anyway, yeah, it goes really well into the Terminator meta. And since Dark Angels and a lot of other armies are playing Terminators right now, it does go really well into that. All right. So...
Because of that meta, I've left the Terminators behind.
Smart man. So I'm just going to go over setup. There's a battle round there. I think setup is just before it. I believe we start with 3 command points. Just want to double check.
I love when people shoot my 2-win models with 3-win guns. Yeah. Lose a third of your efficiency. It's awesome.
Yeah. That's actually pretty good. Or the other way around. That's why I actually started playing, because people are targeting towards the 3-wound models. I started putting 4-wound models or 5-wound models into lists. You'll wait till you see the Salamanders list that I got built, or not built yet. I'm still getting some more attack bikes, but they seem to be a rare commodity right now. So we're not using psychics, shooting phases. Oh yeah, one more thing different, Brandon.
Yes, sir.
There is something in the shooting phase that most people miss. So outside of half range of your gun, it's a -1 to hit.
Yes.
Okay, so that's an additional, that's called the half range and long range. You'll hear us refer to that quite a bit in this format. So we talked about obscured. Overwatch, the old school Overwatch is a thing. When your guys are declared as a charge, you have 2 options. You can either fall back or Overwatch.
Yeah, but you could fall back and not get far enough away.
Well, fallback is 3 inches of fallback.
Yeah.
So you can move back 3 inches. Like, let's say they're attempting to make a 9-inch charge. It's a nice long charge. You fall all the way back to 12, they're going to need boxcars to hit you now. Now, here's the other thing. On a failed charge, you can still choose to move your model now.
Oh, wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so if you're trying to get to an objective or get someplace to get to a table quarter or something, if you fail a charge, you can still move your model up to the full distance of your charge roll.
That'd be handy in Big 40.
Oh, excuse me. So that's, I know it would be handy in Big 40K, but it is definitely used in Kill Team. So damage characteristics of weapons, we'll talk about that as we get to it. Fight phase, standard stuff.
We could start a whole new thing. We could just play 2,000-point kill teams.
So elites went to 125, commanders went to 200. I had dabbled with the notion of apocalyptic kill team at 500 points. That might be really neat to play on almost like a double board size and put it all together and have 500 points of kill team. It'd be a really long kill team because every model would activate individually, and you'd probably have 30 models.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it'd be a little while.
It would be. We might play with that as we go. So where was we? Deployment, kill teams, battlefield, scouting phase, victory conditions. I am looking so long since I've dug in here to find out where the command points are. We're not using the scouting phase. It actually says not to use those. And that gets into the teams. All right. Now, do you remember how many command? I think we start with 3 command points, if I recall.
I have barely ever played kill teams, so I don't know.
Okay, well then, it's been a while, but I believe we each start with 3. So we'll put that on the board here. 3 command points each. As long as your commander's alive, every round you'll generate an additional command point, which does help. So we do have to pick our secondaries. Did you get 3 that you think you might be able to fit by the deployment that we're in? I'm assuming you're taking that side.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. You don't tell me they're secretly chosen until they're revealed when you get in your points. You don't show them to your opponent, which is another neat thing.
Kind of like old school Maelstrom.
Now, so here's another thing for holding objectives. This was a difference, a change from the old to the new. It used to be the number of models in and around the objective. Now it's the wounds characteristic totals of all the models. So 3 wound models really count as 3 models on an objective, which is neat for Marines. That's really good for Marines.
And you're going to be running the Marines, right, Judge?
Yes, I'll be running the Marines today just because they have a lot more tricks. They're not as basic as the Necrons, and I kind of want to give them a basic start. We gave them some really decent weapons to be able to kill, Marines, in my opinion. I think there's a good loadout there. A couple of those Pariahs, or not Pariahs.
What
are
does
those
it
guys?
mean by if your kill team is broken?
Okay, so thank you for asking. So kill team, once your kill team reaches half the number of models, actually I think it's below half. As soon as it drops below half, you have to start making what's called a break test to see if you break. So you take tests for each model that has a flesh wound, normally, to see if they're stunned or out of action that turn. So every model that has a flesh wound at the beginning of the turn, you'll be taking an out of action test, if I recall. If you pass it's basically a leadership check. It's not terrible, not hard to do, and it's modified by the number of flesh wounds on your model. But if more than half your models are out of action or removed, then you start making a break test. If the team is broken, then there's some other penalties I'll have to look up again about broken on the kill team. It's in the... Gosh, I didn't have the core rulebook with me when I was doing all my stuff. I read a lot of the new ones, but
I'm for sure not taking the broken one because you only have
So-
4 models.
Okay, so if a model from your kill team currently has flesh wounds or shaken or out of action, if all the models in your kill team currently have flesh wounds, so if all the models have flesh wounds,
Okay.
if they're shaken or out of action, it is broken. Otherwise, if more than half the models in your kill team currently have flesh wounds, are shaken or out of action, it may be broken. Roll 2d6 so the total is greater than the highest leadership characteristic of the models in your kill team. So yours are all 10. Nice and easy.
Yeah.
Leadership 10. My highest is a 9.
Uh-huh.
So that's all we're going to get for that. Actually, I think it's lower than that now. Let me double check change, see if that changed any. I think it's 8. Nope, because I have a Terminator Sergeant, it's 9. The Heavy Intercessor Sergeant is 8. So the Terminator Sergeant is actually the highest leadership model. So if he dies, my leadership total value becomes 8 instead of 9.
Okay.
Right now, with him being the highest, it's at 9.
And so what is a territory? So at the end of the battle round, score 1 victory point if you have 1 or more models of your kill team wholly within each territory.
Interesting. So territories,
Okay, is that table quarters maybe?
usually, I thought there was one specifically for quarters. Let me double check. 'Cause I saw one specifically for table quarters.
Where's the main book? Does it have?
It's not. A territory will be an explanation in there. I'm bouncing back and forth here, guys. I'm trying my best, but it's just been so many.
I'm looking at this one. It doesn't particularly say what a territory is.
Each territory marked on the deployment map. So there is no territories marked on the deployment map, so that's not one that's going to be. It'll be marked on the deployment map.
Oh, okay.
Deployment zone, deployment zone, deployment zone, deployment zone. There's 4 deployment zones. A command mode, node, an objective marker. Oh yeah, there's some fire lanes. These little guys. Right
Yeah,
here,
I was reading that.
Oh
so,
yeah, I read that yesterday too. Yeah.
they call those firing.
yeah, and if you're
firing
in
lanes.
this,
Yep, you touching
thing.
this, then you fire at something that's within that line of sight right there. That's
it's +1.
correct. And there's quite a few of them around the table. That's a new thing as well. But I got 2.
Hey, let's be honest. We just started this bunker up about 2 months ago, and we have put a lot on John. He's running our tournament that's going to be on the 27th. He does all the painting of most of the armies you see on here that are house armies. And he painted the kill team box in 10 days, and he's learning it.
Yeah, learning it and refreshing,
works.
dusting. Yeah,
And he has a family. So.
and I'm remodeling a bathroom.
So mathematics says you sleep 1 hour a night.
Yeah, that's about how it feels some nights. I know bags under my eyes have gotten a little more pronounced.
So while they go over the rules, one of
just-
the things we're going to work on the channel next is doing the Crusades, which we are not going to have John head up.
Yay.
Some of us other players are going to head it up. So
I'm going to play in it.
I too will play in it.
I too.
I just
will-
can't head it up. I can play it, but
I will play in it as with Martinian as my whole Crusade team.
that's not funny. Why would you do that? Like, even as Joe Fawn said earlier, he's just, I don't even try and kill that model. Don't even shoot at it.
Yeah.
Just avoid it the whole game.
Yeah, he
And
won't make up
sometimes
his- he
that's
won't
a
make up
good
his points.
But we're going to figure out how many.
Like I downed him, but it took a third of my
So
army.
we're going to figure out who wants to play, how many.
So
people,
he made back his points, but if I would have just avoided him, he would have never made his points
You
back.
got to figure out how do you even
people-
run it.
yeah.
No one's ever run a Crusade. So we gotta
It's
figure
running
out.
like one of our older narratives that we used to do with like.
All right, I've gotten my 3 chosen.
Yeah, well, we just don't know how many people we should include to make it manageable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
we
if we
used to
get,
do around 10 to 15, but I'd probably start lower than that.
yeah, because we have 3 tables, so I'm thinking maybe 8 or 10, because then
That'd
we
be
could,
good,
because then we'll just shift the days. You know what I mean? And,
I think a max you should cap it at 12 players.
okay, then-
That's a manageable number because
So-
you have 3 tables, so at any given day you could have 6 players playing,
yeah.
and that would be you could rotate so the next 6 players could come and play on another day or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
And that,
what-
I think that would fit with what we have for space. I just like that idea.
Because that's my idea is, like I've been telling Zach, is we're gonna keep the episodes. That's like our high end
Yeah.
stream. Like
Okay.
where he does the preview
We'll try those.
episodes.
Oh yeah, those are beautiful too. He
And
does a
then
great job with
we'll
that.
do another stream and then something else. Like, did you see my interview yesterday with Joe Phones?
I did actually. That was really cool.
It went a little long, but I think it's a good short form. I think we should do where interviewing people like
Looking at army lists or whatever.
once
Yeah.
you get your Death Watch put together.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Wait till you
interview-
see that mess. That hot mess. I've got to go pick up my Corvus Black Star or go down and pay for my Corvus Black Star today, and it should be in next week. And then that's the last piece needed for the Death Watch army, and then the Death Watch army will be fielded.
Well,
Now,
they changed hours. They close at 5 today, so we got to get you out of here on.
I've got to be back home around that time, so we're kind of in the same boat.
And I got to be out of here by like 3:30.
Oh wow! So we're hustling.
Yep.
All right. So our deployment zones are 3 inches up, which is kind of small. Measuring tape.
Yeah.
And then all the way over to it's 15 inches over.
Let's do a couple of those.
I'm gonna
Of
switch
course.
to the overhead while you guys record.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because you're running.
We're just setting out the actual deployment zones right now.
Oh, my mother-in-law says hi. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Hey, Debbie. I haven't met your mother-in-law yet, but it's nice that she's checking us out. And this one is 4 inches up back here.
I forced it. I made her computer turn on whenever there's a stream.
Nice.
That's cute.
Oh, well, I do need a 9. And he's a 12.
And this one's only 5 inches, so this is the area for this one.
Yeah, do not.
So 1 box there and 1 box here.
That's one of your objectives because that's what I
So
did.
besides the secondaries, we talked about the primaries. Pariah Nexus objectives center ground. At the end of the battle run, here's additional points you can score. Hold on. It cannot be chosen for this mission. It says Dominion Pariah Nexus objective. That was the one you were asking about. Cannot be chosen for this mission. It says right there. Players can choose the center ground Pariah Nexus objective mission below, which is the center line. Or the one right here as playing this mission. At the end of the battle, you can choose this one instead of one of these 3. At the end of the battle, the player with the most victory points. Oh no, hold on. At the end of the battle round, score 1 victory point if there are no enemy models within 3 inches of the center line. This
Yeah.
is the center line. I don't think that's ever going to be a thing. That's why I don't.
No. Yeah, there's objective markers there.
That's where we want to be. That's right. Exactly. This is where all the fighting is really going to happen. So these transversed areas, this was a difference.
Oh, right. You can't. There's,
Yeah, I got to talk about that real quick because there are some things here.
So what happens if you move your model into that?
So that's the thing. They're impassable. They're called pitfalls.
So you just can't go there?
Standard stuff in the fist.
Correct. So a couple of quick little things. There's spatial lacerators. That's these.
Yeah.
These have, let's see, they tie into some narrative effects, but do not block movement or ability. Have no game outside of the. Okay, so they won't be used in this game. The pitfalls, which we talked about, are going to be when determining the number of. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Some kill team game board features pitfalls. These represent sudden drops or chasms that cannot be transversed. There are a special type of terrain feature that block movement in the same way as a wall, unless the model being moved can fly. If a model can fly, it can end it, but it cannot end its movement within a pitfall. Pitfalls do not block visibility and do not have any effect on measurements. A pitfall can be seen below. It shows a picture, so we know this is a pitfall. This is a pitfall. We have 3 pitfalls in this one. There's actually some ultra close combat tactics that can be used to jump across a pitfall. I want to
But
say
there's risk
determined
involved.
leap. So use this tactic in the movement phase. When you pick a model from your kill team to move, roll 1d6. On a 2, that model can move 2 inches across the pitfall. during this movement. On a 3+, it can move up to 3 inches across the pitfall during its movement. So if it's greater than 3 inches, you cannot traverse a pitfall. And I think this one is 4, is what it looks like.
Yep.
It's greater than 3. So you will not be able to jump across. This one
You
is.
only do that one.
This one's a 3? It's a 3 or a 2? 3.
No, it's a 3.
Yeah. So we'll only be able to jump across. I'm going to snag your little.
Yep.
This will come in handy for this game. All right. So a couple of neat little things. Point blank Overwatch changed a little bit. It used to be that you fired at the model as it came around the corner. Anytime in its movement, you could have it stop to gain any benefit, and you shoot at it if it was coming from out of line of sight. Normally, you can't fire Overwatch unless it's something that you can see. This way, with a stratagem, you can, but now it only works. It only triggers if they make a successful charge roll.
Okay.
So if they fail the charge roll, you can't point blank Overwatch them. I made a little mark in the book. That was a change that from the previous kill team close quarter tactics. The covered doorway is a neat one. Sure footing is a neat one. See them coming is neat. So we're gonna have to look at a couple of those. There's only this page. That's why I kind of want to leave it open to this page. These are the ones that are available to us. If you see anything that fits or you have any questions about them, let me know. So we have got our secondaries chosen. We have got our deployments laid out. We now roll, or the initial roll was, I lost the initial roll,
Yeah,
so
so
I
you're
set
gonna
up the
drop
first
first.
model.
Okay, so hitting on 2s.
I'm going to put my combat specialist.
Yes. Do they still have the adjustable bolts?
Right there.
Okay. And it's my zealot guy that can double
Real quick for people
move.
tuning
It's
in.
it's the
this
veteran
guy,
that will
veteran.
make a move before the game begins.
Real quick, so people tuning in, who's your warlord or leader?
We went over it, but I'm going to be using an intercessor sergeant today as the leader of the group, and he's using what are these things called?
Greenhead man.
Green. The official word on
He's
this
a
guy
Lich Guard, right?
is a Lich Guard. Correct. He's a Lich Guard. He's using that Lich Guard with the
Staff hanging out the
void
side.
scythe, I want to say they call it. They come standard with. I have not played Necrons in Kill Team, so I don't know them very well off the top of my head, but I'm going to look because we have a book. And Lich Guard, the model is armed with a War Scythe. So the War Scythe is a really good weapon. It strength +2, so it goes from strength 5 to strength 7, neg 4, and flat 2 damage.
Nice.
And it has his normal number of attacks is 3. The combat one will have 4 attacks.
Nice.
That's really good.
I'm sorry, that is not a Lynch card. That is Mr. Greenhead.
That's how we know it's the commander. He's
Yeah.
taking the one with the green. He took the Mr. Greenhead
Yeah,
as the
'cause there's-
commander. There's 2 Lich Guard today. One of them is a combat specialist, and one is a leader. So yeah,
So throw him up. Are you deployed, Brandon?
he's got his
got
first
one.
one up. I'm going to put my second. There's a good line of fireplace for a sniper.
So real quick, Judge, let me ask you a quick question. Did you play Kill Team? Is there a big difference in your thought of deploying for a Warhammer 40K game to Kill Team?
Well, in Kill Team, the biggest difference is you don't know who's going to go first every round.
Yeah.
So that's pretty huge.
Where's that
So when you
funny
move or
laser?
set up, you don't know if you're going to be first or second every round. And we got this neat little laser to help us get line of sight. I was trying to get a good line of sight to that objective and give me a firing lane and to this one if I need to, because this doesn't block line
Yeah.
of sight. I figured that was a good firing lane for a sniper. And I can't
So
place
he'll
them
be
all.
obscured.
If you draw, if you draw a line of sight, how obscurement works. Let's say a model's here.
Yeah. So
All right.
there he's not obscured because you can
Well,
go.
there he is, actually.
Oh.
So unless the one part of your base, this part we'll take over here, can see all of his base entirely without going across the wall, and that
I
one you
gotcha.
can't. That's obscured.
Okay.
So any part of this model's base, you take it from the edge, if he can't draw line of sight unobstructed, that model's obscured. And this model just has to be within an inch of the obscurement of the
Okay.
obstruction to gain the benefit of cover. Now, cover works a little bit differently in this edition. The camel cloak, as long as he's benefiting from cover, gives him +1 to the armor. But the obscurement is -1 to hit, which are all cumulative in this game. There's no stacking on terrible, like, awful amounts of. Am I missing a guy?
You put him out here.
Oh yeah. I'm like, we're missing a guy. So I think I'm actually going to put
Last impulsor.
the heavy specialist
I'm going to be going
right there. put the leader over here. And I'm all in. So the rest of it's placed by you.
We have a pretty big dice here. So I figure we can use this to kind of
Battle
show
rounds?
we'll use this dice here to show the battle rounds.
Beautiful. That'll give us, because we only have 4 rounds. It's like playing Warhammer 40K, but with 1 less round.
And a lot less models.
It's a smaller game.
Okay.
It's designed so you can play it in a lunch break. Once you get the handle on how this game plays, you can usually get it done in a very short period of time.
Well, I think Dozer's got the advantage here because he normally plays Space Wolves with like 12 models, but you play Guard and Tyranids with like 4,000 models. So
I also play Tyranid, or I also play Space Marines. I have Salamanders too.
soon they'll be out soon.
Yeah, there's all painting projects are kind of, I still spend a little bit of time on my lunch break and paint for myself. So yes, not only do I paint for everybody else and do all this work for everybody else, I do work for myself on occasion. All right, so now what we do is we roll what's called an initiative roll. At the beginning of every round, we take 2 dice, and we just see who gets the first turn.
Okay, hold on. Before you roll that, let me switch down to the board.
Switch down to the board. Brandon's already dropped his. Dozer's got his double 4s, which is above average. He got an 8.
So because they're pairs, they multiply. I get a 16.
And I got double 3s. So if we get
So I spend my 1 CP now.
yeah,
move this
we
guy.
were supposed to do that before we determined who rolled. You said you were going to, so
Yes.
go ahead and he can make a run move or advance move before the game begins.
And he has to go around that wall, right?
Ooh, nice.
Boogie in.
So he moves 5 plus his 6, so it'll be 11 inches.
And he has to go around the walls, right?
He does. He does. He can't move through walls.
Do you want a smaller measuring tape?
So you measure to edge, and then how you do that is you measure to your point where you're going to go, and then you stop, and you measure again, and then you measure again. So you keep up your total number of inches. So that's 3. You have 11, so you've got 8 more. Be 5 to there.
Okay. So, over to you.
So now you've got a couple more. That'll get you to the objective.
You
Got to be within 2 inches of it.
Wholly within or just toe in?
Just within 2. Yep,
So
you're
I
good.
think-
He's there.
Okay.
So that's pretty a great huge thing, huh?
It's pretty big. That's one of the reasons why we talked about it before the game began. A veteran specialist does just that, and he took the closer range gun for the veteran specialist, which is good. Now we already know that you're going first, so go ahead and rock on the heavies there and have fun with it.
So,
So
what
you're
is he
basically
doing here, John?
so,
First turn?
okay. So a few things I would do this turn would be to kind of advance a lot of models. You don't have a lot that are really in good line of sight for shooting that can reach out and touch things.
What's this
So
guy's base movement?
basic movement of Necrons is 5, and I believe let me check him. I'm not 100% sure on him.
Blade one?
The flailed one. Flayed one. Flayed one. Base movement is 5. They're all 5, yeah. All Necrons are 5 base. So, I do want to see somebody told me that the claws changed for the
I'm going over here and
flayed ones. I want to see the weapon profile for the claws.
And so he's still moving again, because that was a pre-game movement, right?
Yeah, so he's good to move normally, stand still, however he wants to do it. And you can stand on objectives in this game. So, the claws are strength user, neg 1, 1 damage, and no additional rules anymore. At one point in time, those claws used to be like lightning claws where you could reroll wounds.
so when you get good at a game of Kill Team, could you fit this in on your lunch break? What
Easily.
time frame would people look at to be? Now, can he go there? Because that thing is there. Can he fit his base through the wall in that thing?
I think the movement, or the way it was set up, was that he should have been able to, but I want to double check. We have the setup here.
I just want to.
No.
So,
It's because the base still. We are dealing with 32 millimeter bases, which is essentially 1 inch. So, missions are sooner in the book. And I just want to make sure we got it set. It doesn't give you an exact placement, but we'll assume that we have enough space. It does say
Well,
place
it's
off
this
the
way, right?
edge. It does say place off the.
yeah, you're off.
Yeah, it literally has to be right
So
there.
now, if your base can't fit through there, can you go through there?
You can go over this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and
this
there's no
is
negatives?
movable. Now, as far as moving over terrain like that, there's no negatives. If you move over, there was an extension. If you move over an inch of it, then there's more. But if I recall, there's no movement penalty for that. Again, I have not played this game in a while, so I will double check. Thank you for asking. I'm glad you asked the questions.
Debbie says she likes Greenhead Man.
Nice. Oh, he totally can't be there. He's in a pitfall.
Yeah, you just can't be in a pitfall.
This area.
So after you move each model, you need to declare what we're going to do with it.
Oh,
yeah. That's
So
right.
if you advanced, you would flip over this one right here,
okay.
which is the double move, and just put a marker by the models that advanced. That's a normal move. And then the other side of it is a charge. So these are the tokens that came with the initial Kill Team box set.
So this guy just
He just
Ready.
regular moved. No, Ready is not moving at all. Ready is
Oh, gotcha.
stationary. And he advanced. He took a normal move,
Mm-hmm.
so he gets this one right here, the normal token. Normal move, and then that's how you do it. After every model you move, you place a token next to it,
That's
so
right.
everybody knows how they activate it. So that because after we both move all our models, we take turns alternating.
right. Yeah, and then you like the ones that are ready go first or something like that.
The ones that are ready get to shoot first before all other models that are ready, and the ones that are not. Like I couldn't place him over any farther, so that kind of.
Just looking at these in the background on this Doom kind of looks
Okay. I gotta move this guy. Still.
Yeah, it's a little. I wasn't
I like this. I like that sandy.
the sandy effects.
Yeah, that's.
It was more. I was a little disappointed it didn't crackle as much as I thought it was going to because it's supposed to be a crackle paint.
And
And it only crackled in a couple
target
of
is already,
places, but
I
that
think.
was just probably because of the age of the pot that I had. I'm not sure.
It's ready.
So he's ready. So he's not moving at all.
No.
You got a readied model. Good deal.
And this guy's made a regular move.
Now, Dozer, what's your point of leaving him back there ready?
If he has like a line of sight on a target, he can ready and then shoot. So readying the model right now without a target to shoot at,
It's pointless.
or expecting a target. If you expect a target to be in the area where you can see, like, I don't think that's a good spot to be ready.
Okay.
It might be better to be out here where you can see across the traverse here. That's kind of why I placed mine where I did. But a readied model, you want it to be in a position to where it's going to be shooting. That's why you ready it, because you want it to shoot before anybody else shoots.
Okay.
You can also force, if they know you're going to ready a model and they haven't moved yet, you could force your opponent to move out of those readied models' line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some tactics there. Yeah. All right. So you got all your models moved?
Yes, sir.
All right. So easy one for me is I'm going to ready this guy, because I think I do have a bead on your flailed one down there. And I'm going to use the laser. And I think I got a bead on the flailed one. I do unobstructed. Well, he gets an obstruction bonus because he's within an inch of that wall. And I got an obstructed. Can I see him? No, I cannot see him past that wall. So only that flailed one is in the line. But I do like shooting Necrons, so we'll try it. I'm going to ready this model. That's what he's good for, covering that area. The heavy one,
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
I'm going to move him up. They only move 5 inches as well. I'm going to move him up 5 inches.
I know, but see this right here?
Does not suffer any penalties to moving and shooting, and I think I got a line.
That's why.
Can we see the laser on stream?
Barely.
Barely? Oh, okay. So I think I
If
got
they've
a line
got a big
to...
screen that's high def, they can see it.
Got it. I can see that model from there. So what I'm doing is multiplying my chances of being able to shoot certain things. I'm actually going to move this guy back 5 inches to this corner. Should have put my normal moves on a couple of these guys. So he normal moved, and I think I'm going to, because I can't make, he's too far away for a charge. He's outside of 12. So I'm just going to take a normal move. Or do I want to advance?
Can you advance and charge in this game?
No. Charge happens right now during the
Yeah.
movement. So if you didn't have a target to
Right.
charge, then you can't actually charge. There's no charge after anything. So I'm actually going to advance him. But I'm going to do something kind of weird. We're going to roll the advance real quick. And I got a 1. Yay, that's a Terminator for me. He's moving 6. So he's going to move 6 this direction. Going to move here, open over, and end up right there. And that was an advance. So he advanced. So now,
So
what we do is we go into the next phase. So movement phase is complete, and we're going to go into the next phase. Now, readied models will get to activate in the shooting phase before any other models get to activate. So I do have a readied model. So when I activate each model, you pull their token off so you remember that they've already been activated, because we take turns activating. I'll activate the first model. The person whose turn it is, because it's your turn technically.
yeah.
So if we both had ready models, you would activate the first
Right,
model.
but I
If
don't have any
neither
ready
of us had
models.
ready models, you would still activate the first model because it's
Yes.
your turn. Your priority or your initiative is what they call it.
So a ready model is kind of like thinking of a charging model in Warhammer 40k. They have the
priority in the shooting phase. So they have a charging model here, which does take priority in the charge phase, but in the shooting phase, readied models take priority in the shooting phase. So we're going to activate the sniper, and he's going to fire the regular shot, not the 2 damage one. The 2 damage one, just to explain the Necron protocols, if you roll the damage characteristic of the weapon is used to determine if the model is taken out of action. The number of dice that they roll. So after a model loses its final wound, you roll the damage roll. And the damage roll on a 1, 2, or 3, the model is safe and takes a flesh wound. On a 4, 5, or 6, the model is taken out of action. However, Necrons have a special ability called reanimation protocols, which means whenever that 6 is rolled on any of the dice for the damage roll, they heal all wounds, remove all flesh wounds, and stand back
They have
up.
2 chances.
Yeah, 5 and a 4. That's it. And since he's in cover, he's obscured, only a 5 will take that model out of action. Because this line right here, does cover obscurement that's within an inch of him. So it subtracts 1 from that total. So there's a gun that I wanted to use. I don't use eliminators very often, but it's called Bolt Sniper Rifle. And I think I'm going to use the Hyper Frag round. It's heavy 3d6, or d3 I mean. So d3, number of shots. It's going to be 1 shot.
Excellent.
And I didn't use any stratagems. When do I use the one for snipers? +1 to hit, which I do want to use. Sniper does not suffer penalty. The sniper rifle does not suffer penalty for being at long range. In addition, when attacking with this weapon, chooses one of the profiles below. So he doesn't suffer penalty for being at long range.
Okay.
So we definitely have 36 inches. I am going to use the first command point. I'm going to go down to 2. Oh, neither of us, we didn't generate our command point. We generated command point at the beginning of the battle round. As long as your guys, is it battle round or leader? Hold on. If it's battle round or turn, let me double check so I make sure I get this right. Because this is kind of crucial to the order. As long as this model's on the battlefield and you're not shaking, you gain additional command point at the beginning of the battle round. It is battle round, so we each gain 1. So I'm going to go back to 3 because I was at 4. And I'm going to use the sniper tactic, which is +1 to the hit roll. So using this weapon, it's going to goes to a 2, -1 because you're in cover, so it goes to a 3. So here we go. I need a 3+. I did get it, so that is a hit. It is strength 5. I know you're T4, so I need a 4 or a 3 to wound you. That is a wound, so you make a regular armor save. I don't believe there's any armor penetration characteristic for that. And the armor save of a 5 is good because you have a 4-up armor. Most of you guys will have a 4-up armor except for him. He'll have a 3-up armor.
Okay.
He's also a T5. So the first round of shooting, my first shot is done. It is now your model to choose to shoot with next.
I don't think this guy can't shoot because he advanced?
Correct. He advanced. This guy can shoot if he has a target. And this guy might be able to shoot if he has a target. I don't know if he does. He might be able to see this guy.
No.
Not that one. I'm thinking about this one.
Oh.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
No, because you couldn't see me. How would I be able to see you?
Oh, good point. Yeah, that's right. So that one is available. I am obscured, but you can fire at me. It's better than nothing. That's a valid line, too. That one can fire as well.
Yep, we'll shoot with this guy.
Am I within an inch of the wall? I am within an inch. So he is going to benefit from cover. Both of them will. So it's -1 to hit. So it's a fail.
Yep.
And you got another one to shoot with.
Oh,
Because you're not within rapid fire. You're -2 to hit because you're at long range.
Okay.
Oh, I have. Let me see. No, I have another shot. It's my turn to shoot next.
Okay.
That's right. So I am going to use the heavy bolter. I don't like using the heavy bolter, but it could potentially heal him. But I moved him to fire at that guy, so I am within half range. The heavy bolter is 36 inches, so 18 is half range. And you're not benefiting from obscurement because as of this part of my model, let me show you the difference here. This part of the model can see all of your base.
Yeah, I got you.
So here we go. And if you can't see that on stream, that is 3 1s with a heavy bolter.
Yep.
It would have been a -1 because I moved, but it's he's a heavy specialist, so he didn't get the -1. You were not obscured at all. That was
No.
3.
Is that how today's gonna go?
That's how today's going to go. It's lovely. I love those kind of things. Okay, so I'm done firing
So
the
this
heavy
guy,
model.
at that guy.
Sounds good. And you're on the 1 too.
Nice.
So we're all having a kind of a pillow fight kind of morning here.
So he
This
fires.
guy is going to fire at this one. It's only 2
Oh,
shots.
'cause these don't.
Nope, that's
yeah.
cover. That's firing across a barricade out in the open. So I'm going to fire 2 shots. Only 1 hit though. So strength 4, T5. So it's going to be. Oh no, heavy. They're heavy. Heavy intercessors use a heavy. They call it a heavy bolt rifle. Strength 5. So it does wound.
Okay.
So you do have a 3-up. It's only -1. So you have a 4-up armor save, and it does a single damage if you
Right.
fail.
Cover something being within an inch of the wall.
Well, from the angle of the fire, you're out in the open.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're within an inch of the wall coming across it, if
gotcha.
the obstruction draws across and you're within an inch of it, then you get the benefit.
Okay. So 4. No.
Okay, so he takes his first wound. Now, we got to figure out a way to mark wounds. I do have these really nice wound markers, but I don't have many of them. We have quite a few multi-wound models. These are some old wound markers from Gale Force 9 way back in the day. These are actual wound markers, so it has 1 wound on it. Those are
Okay.
not flesh wound.
markers right there?
These are flesh wound markers, and those ones we'll be using a lot of.
Okay.
So the wound markers, we won't be using as many, but I usually put down how many wounds are remaining on the model so we know, you know what I mean? Or how many wounds it has taken. We can go either way. I
Yeah.
don't know what works
It's
best.
a 2-wound model, so
It is a
doesn't
2-wound
matter.
model, so it doesn't matter either way on that one. So I'm done shooting. This model, my leader is finished. Way to go, leader. You're the only one who actually knows how to shoot a gun.
Right?
And then do you have any other shooting?
No.
Okay. So what we do is we're going to check. We had no charges. We have no combats. So we just basically end the battle round, and we look at any models have flesh wounds. None do. And so we don't have to worry about checking any break tests on any models. Now you might want to check your secondaries to see if you got any.
I'm pretty sure no.
And psychic, that you can hit in the
Uh,
movement, psychic, or shooting, and then make
Oh, no, I scored 2.
You did.
Yeah, because I control 2 objectives.
Nice.
buy a bomber for that. They're not very good right now.
All right. So you got 2 points on the prime. 2 points from secondary in round 1. You also got in the primary. You got control 1 or more objective markers. You got 2 points in the primary as well, because you control an objective marker and more than me.
Okay.
So you basically
We're
have
just
round
gonna-
1. You have 4 points. I did not hit any of mine.
So this keeps going, and you just know what it is now.
Yeah. Now it's been revealed, but now I know what it is.
Yeah.
What is it?
So I scored 1 point per objective that I held. So I scored 4 points.
It's at the end of your battle. At the battle. It's the end of the
Oh.
So you actually don't score those ones to the end of the battle.
Okay.
So that one was supposed to be hidden. So you only got 2 points, not 4. Sorry.
I'm essentially playing the
So
play.
2 points, not 4. He got 2 for the primary
Yeah.
because you hold an objective marker, hold more than me, but you didn't take any models out of action.
Right.
So you only got 2 of the 3 points primary.
No, so as you guys are moving together, that's the end of the battle round, right?
That's literally battle round 1. Yeah. So we're going to move into
Okay,
battle
cool.
round 2. No, it doesn't. And this is me teaching you how to
Yeah.
do it. So now we pull all the markers and then we roll the initiative phase.
Do I try to heal him at some point?
Nope.
Nope.
Initiative phase. Here we go. I'm going to try and do it over here. Initiative 6 to my 7. I'm going to get to play the first round, or initiative 2. So here we go. I'm going to declare a charge here.
Okay.
That's my first movement.
And I can
You
just
do have options for
Overwatch?
either fallback or Overwatch. I am out
I'm
of
not-
your line of sight, so you can't Overwatch without spending a command point. We got to gain those, by the way. We got to go back to 4. Both of us are at 4. Both our leaders are alive.
Yeah, I guess I'll burn one.
Okay.
Try to
So
Overwatch.
basically how it works is if I make a successful charge, it's called point blank Overwatch. If I make a successful charge, you'll get to fire Overwatch.
Okay.
Okay. So I need
Not much.
essentially not much, but Terminators have failed before. To get within an inch, I'm going to need a 4. Oops.
Oh, the door's open.
Knock the door down. And I did get the 9, so I'm going to move entirely, and then you'll get to do your Overwatch. So I'm actually going to move to here.
Stay there, punch, and then pull.
and you'll get to do your Overwatch.
1 shot on 6?
2, because it's Assault 2.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, so it's worth a shot. So his was a declaration of a charge, which is on the back of that one. So charge activation. Next activation is going to be, this heavy bolter is going to be ready. This one, sniper, is going to be ready, and this one is going to be ready.
Okay.
That's my activation.
And these guys have no shooting?
No.
So just run up and smack stuff. Okay. So I would charge after I move?
Nope. As your move.
As your move, you charge.
Yep. Yeah, you can't end up technically on top of those, but I think you can fight. They're an inch across, so you can fight if you get into the pocket here. I think you could make a successful charge. Let me double check that. Nope, because I'm in the angle pocket. You cannot. You have to come around it because you have to be within an inch. So normally straight across it, like here to here, that's good. But because I'm at an angle, it's more difficult. You're just going to move him normally?
Yeah.
Good place to be.
Ready that guy. So if I want to go through this door, it just goes away?
Well, how it works is now the way doors moving work, you basically at any point during your movement, you can choose to open the door. And once the door's open, it's removed. So your movement of 5 inches, you basically stop, open the door, and then continue moving. So you got, what, an inch to the door?
Yeah.
So you move an inch, your first inch to the door, pull the door, and then you can move the remainder inches. Yep.
Ooh,
So,
not that far.
Maybe
I say, come out into the open. I have a sniper right there. He looks like he's ready to shoot things.
So he made a
Now, I
regular
have a
move.
question. Is this like Warhammer where like since his claw's sticking out there you can shoot him, or
It's measured to the base.
Okay.
It's base
So
edge
make
to
sure
base
you-
edge. Any part of the model, it's still base edge to base edge. So that's how you measure.
Since this guy got
It's a
charged,
two-dimensional game.
what's his... What he gets some kind of a token or no? He's just hanging out in combat.
You can fall back.
No, but I shot Overwatch.
Okay. So that's right. So shot Overwatch, you can't. The turn you got charged, you can't fall back anyway. So you're
Okay.
stuck.
But
So
against the wall, doesn't he get
he-
something special?
well, no, within an inch of the wall. Yeah, there was something there. It's I guess a good point. There was a new thing. Let me look
Yeah.
that up.
About that in the-
Yeah, I read it too.
This guy's gonna
It
charge.
was choke points. No, it was doors obscured, fighting,
Was
measuring.
it confined place or something? I think they called it. Or?
No escape. When a model makes an attack with a melee weapon against an enemy model within 1 inch of a wall, door, terrain feature, or pitfall, the attacking model can gain an advantage. Draw an imaginary straight line from the center of the attacking model's base. So I did move to position the no escape. So you add 1 to the injury roll.
So you get the advantage.
I don't want that.
Nice.
Add 1 to the injury roll.
This guy's gonna
That
charge.
means that 5s are going to be 6s,
But
which
is
means
it
he's.
only a natural 6 that they? Is it only a natural 6 that the Necron heals on? That's the
Good
question.
question. Good.
That's the
You know what? I love your questions, man. They're amazing. I really do. So, reanimation protocol states,
Because I did watch some videos.
when an injury roll is made for this model on an unmodified roll of a 6. So it is only a 6. Okay.
This guy's gonna charge in.
So, yeah. There you go. Made it.
And you can't fire Overwatch because you're in combat.
I don't have any
He
guns.
doesn't have any guns.
It's a Terminator with Thunderhammer and a Storm Shield.
Oh, your favorite Storm Shield.
That's a 40-point model in kill time. Out of my 100 points, that's 40 of my 100 points.
Oh yeah, because those aren't models from the box set. Which ones are the models from the box set?
These
Heavy
two guys over here.
intercessors and these guys.
Yeah, and the flayed ones. So we each got 2 models from the box set that we're playing with.
Yeah, I like those heavy intercessors. I'm like,
They're cute. I need some more, but I want to get some for my Salamanders build, but they're not high on my priority list because they're so expensive in regular game. They're 17 points in this game. They're 28 points in 40k. That doesn't make any sense to me.
so the plan is, I think Jeff is going to try and play the Hunter on the 20th.
Okay.
But if that doesn't fall through, he's going to try and find out. Dozer says he may grab some Space Marines and go against the Necrons because we've done Space Wolves a lot.
Yeah.
So he's going to grab some of the Space Marines and go up against the Necrons.
Cool.
All in Smurf Marines. That's okay.
They're not Smurfs.
I've got to start working on the sisters this next week. That's Zach's got a plan. We talked about it, and I have to finish doing the paint scheme for him so he can make an agreement on what he wants to pay. I haven't painted.
Yeah, once you get it done, once you get all that done and you have some time, you just got an easy Harlequin's army after that.
I love how you say that. Easy. Easy Harlequin's army.
That's my next project.
Yeah, Matthew's going to be doing Harlequins too. Just because it's something you can really, as a painter, you can really dive deep and do a lot of detail if you want to.
Little diamonds on 'em.
Yeah. Yeah, 1,000 little diamonds.
Well, the whole thing is.
Any ideas, questions, anything I can help with, or did you?
I think we're
oh.
doing a simpler paint scheme.
This guy, he doesn't really have any targets, so I'm not going to ready him, I guess. I guess he'll just move. And I can't shoot into combat?
No.
There was a really cool codex that I color scheme. It was just a solid black and white alternating.
I think pistols can, but I want to double check that. I think that was one of the things I do remember about Kill Team is that you could fire pistols into combat. But I want to double check, and I don't think he has a pistol, but I just want to double check that.
I'm sure if I want all the tiny little diamonds, I would have to sell my house.
Probably. Alright, 3 wounds. One's got 1 left.
Alrighty. I'm trying here, and I'm not doing a good job.
You don't know that. We thought Mesa was trapped at the second round when he was playing his Drukari against the Space Wolves.
So yes, you can. In such circumstances, a model can shoot its pistol even if there are other friendly models within 1 inch of the same enemy model.
I lost every time they were like,
But it has to be the closest model to the firer.
I don't think I have any pistols.
You don't. But I just, that's good to know.
Just for knowledge.
Reference.
And then you gotta clear them
We
up.
might be able to even play 2 missions at this rate.
Yeah.
I mean, we're halfway through this game already. So we're done all our movements. It's my priority, but we both have readied models. So we're going to move into the shooting phase. I would choose the first readied model to shoot.
Yep.
And in this instance, I think I'm going to pick this one to fire first.
Because you got 3 ready models. I got you.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick my first readied model. You still get to fire the second readied model because we still alternate until all the readied models are done. Then we go on to the normal shooting. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So we're going to use the heavy bolter again over here. This time I stayed still. So I think he's got a stratagem to +1 to hit or something like that. Oh, yeah, there's some for multiple command points you can choose to shoot. To use this tactic at the start of the shooting phase, you can choose to shoot before any other models shoot.
Okay.
So that's one's decisive shot or decisive strike. For 2 command points, you can choose to take priority over even the readied models. Does that make sense? All right. So gritted teeth. No, that was not one. It was the heavy.
I can't shoot these guys.
Oh yeah, increase the number of shots.
2, 4, 6.
I think we're going to do that.
10, 12, 14.
So we're going to spend 1 command point, and he's going to fire 4 shots instead of 3. Chances of rolling 4 ones are pretty slim. I'm going to heavy bolter gets an extra shot.
4 ones.
4 ones. Nope.
You got a couple 3s.
Did you moved within an inch of the wall, right?
Yes.
You are this way, within an inch of the wall?
Yes, trying to be them both.
Trying to be within an inch. Okay, so I missed,
I hate those little
I
guys.
missed, and I missed.
They don't.
All
He
misses.
didn't roll 4 ones.
No, but I still missed 4 times, so he's done shooting.
And that's one
So-
thing I've learned from you, John, when you're playing Warhammer is like, as you move or as you do something, if you kind of declare your intent of what you're trying
Correct.
to do, it helps alleviate any confusion going through the game. Correct?
Correct.
So that's his only target. So he'll shoot at him.
10.
That is correct.
20 on 3s.
So you're -1, right? Oh no.
Yes, because of range.
He's a warmer.
So you're -1 when you shoot over half your range. And the weapon is 24. So as soon as he gets outside of 12 inches, which is that point, then he's firing at -1. And I'm behind cover, so it's -2. So he needs 5s. It's only a single shot though, because you're out. It's rapid fire, so you're outside of. Sorry,
That's
there
okay.
it is. There's a hit. There's a hit. And strength 4 T4 does wound on a 4. So I have the 2-up armor save because I'm obscured, giving me the camel cloak benefit. So he gets +1 to the armor save, so 2-up armor, and he's good.
Nice.
What's that, like freaking wearing a storm shield?
Well, like that? Yeah. So your readied models bolt, and I'm going to fire mine. I'm actually going to fire. I'm going to put the regular bolt sniper, because if I roll a 6, it's a mortal wound on the wound. I think I'm just going to go with that one, targeting that model. So here we go. Hitting on a did I get +1 to hit or rerolling 1s? +1 to hit.
So Dozer, halfway through, how do you feel about Kill Team? You like it? And what do you think?
It's interesting.
It's a lot less work. A couple weeks ago, we tried Maelstrom. If you ever watched,
Yeah, that one was
and
crazy.
It looked like John ran a marathon afterwards.
Yeah,
Maelstrom was
my head
Fun.
hurt.
You got to for sure build a different kind of list.
Yeah, for Maelstrom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nice guy read the thing. He goes,
It was a lot. I mean, so they keep releasing these neat and interesting rules like that, but sometimes they're a lot to wrap your head around.
I think it'll be a lot easier once it's not beta and there's cards and there's
I agree. Absolutely agree.
a real rule set.
I'm going to take the sniper level 1, careful aim. We're going to go +1 to the hit roll. So we're going to increase this. I lose another command point down to 2, and I'm going to get +1 to the hit roll. So I'm going to try and hit this guy on a 2+ now.
Okay.
So here we go. And I rolled that 2. It's a good thing I played that. And it is strength 5. So I'm looking for a 6 on this injury roll here, or on this damage roll, and I didn't get it. So I even failed to wound. I think I am going to burn 1 more command point to use the command reroll. Tactical reroll, they call it. The tactical reroll, and we'll try and get that. So I'm down to 1. I really need to make this guy stick, and a 6 here would be so beneficial. There it is. So it's a mortal wound on top of, I believe, any other damage. So you only have 1 wound, so that would take you out of action. Let me double check that weapon. Bolt sniper rifle. Mortis round, not mortis round. Yes, it is the mortis round. So it's a 2 damage weapon.
So 2 damage plus a mortal wound.
Yeah. It makes a mortal wound in addition to normal damage. So it definitely does. It does 2 damage, but the damage characteristic of the finishing wound was 2. So the injury roll needs to be not a 6, but I do need to get a 4 or a 5 to take a model out of action. That makes sense?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, here we go. I did get the 5, so he's out of action. The model is removed
I
from
get no
play.
save against that?
No, once we're past the the armor save.
Yeah.
You
No, you never
haven't
gave me
made an armor save. Okay, got it. It's -1
Points so far.
or -2. But you made it.
He's
yeah,
fine.
Still good. Never mind. We go past that. All the fun stuff. You get the mortal wound. You don't get an armor save from. So he
Okay.
still died. So the
Okay.
injury roll still would be only. So he didn't die by 2 damage. He died by a single damage. I roll. Hold on. I roll 1 dice.
Yeah.
This is the injury roll for the mortal wound. So you
Okay.
save the actual shell, but the mortal wound is actually what killed him. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because he only has 1 wound. So now we roll the injury roll with no modifier. It's a 1. So he takes a flesh wound. This
Okay.
is where the flesh
So
wounds
he's
come into
still
play.
alive.
He's still alive, but now he's -1 to do
saves. Right?
hitting and shooting.
Oh, I thought he was -1 to his saves.
Doesn't change the save characteristic.
Okay.
It does change his weapon skill and ballistic skill by 1.
And does that stack with -1s for obscuring also? So yeah, because if you get 2 flesh wounds, it's minus. But they're only
-2.
They're 2 wound models, right?
They're 1 wound models.
But
The flesh wound's not a
flesh
wound,
wound-
though.
But if he has 2 flesh wounds, then he's negative
-2, correct. And Space Marines have transhuman physiology, which means they ignore the first flesh wound.
course
They
they
activate normally on the first flesh wound. Anyway, so that's I have him done, ready, fired. 1 more readied model because you have no left, and we'll fire 2 times at him because I'm within rapid fire range. Try and take him out. There you go, hitting on. You're within half range, so and not obscured from this direction. So hitting on 3s, both hit, and wounding on 4s because it's strength 5. There's 1 wound at -1. You get a 4 up armor.
Nope.
Okay, so I did take his last wound out with a single wound because he only has 2 wounds, right? So I'm rolling an unmodified or unmolested injury roll, which is a 1, 2, 3 gets a flesh wound, 4, 5, or 6 is taken out of action. It is a 1, so he gets a flesh wound. So the regular wound is pulled and a flesh wound is added, and he is still there.
So he's back up to 2 wounds now?
No, he has no wounds remaining. He has 1. He's basically healed with 1 wound remaining. I'm sorry, I should have left that there because he has a 2 wound model.
Yeah.
So I left that there. There you go.
Okay.
He just has a flesh wound,
Okay.
which means we'll do some. There will be some tests at the end of this battle round because there's a couple people with flesh wounds.
Okay.
So we're all done with the ready shooting. Do you have any other shooting you want to do?
No.
Okay, so we're going to go into
shooting
the
available.
combat phase, which means charging models first. It was my initiating turn, so I'm going to do charging models. Now I can only attack the models that I declared as charges,
Okay.
I believe, but I could be wrong. Let me double check that because this game may have a little bit of a different.
How long have you had that
Choose.
rule book, Mr. Judge?
Since it came out, it's really old, and I put all the tabs in it so I could pay attention to everything when we were doing the campaign. This is how I got back into 40K after I gave it up years ago. Was playing Kill Team because I didn't need to buy a whole lot of stuff.
And now look at you. You're back.
I don't want to talk. Don't want to talk about that. We had things we talk about.
So for 1 CP, I can use my
cards.
combat specialist and fight immediately before you fight.
2 CP.
1.
As a fight? Oh, because with your combat specialist, whoever your combat specialist is.
He charged in.
But he's the combat specialist.
Oh, you're right.
Or he's the leader, he's the combat. Remember?
Yeah, he's the combat. So
He's the leader, he's the combat.
Yeah.
So that only works on the combat. But you can spend 2 CP and use decisive strike and attack before I do. That's one that is optional.
How
available.
killy is that guy? He's not very.
3 swings with a thunder hammer, -1 to
No,
hit.
no, my guy.
Oh, 3 attacks, strength user, -1 to armor,
No,
which would
that's-
still put
that's
me at
not
2+, and 1 damage, and he has 3 wounds, so you're not going to
No.
get through and remove him. Don't think you will. When this guy gets in, he'll have a much better chance of removing him. So, choose a melee weapon. Choose targets. Model with attacks. Enemy model. The attacking model must be within an inch. Visible. Models that charge this battle line can only attack enemy models that they charged. So I can only attack that guy.
Okay.
So it is 3 attacks to the veteran sergeant. Into this guy. It's the one I did declare as a charge. Here we go. I did hit only once. Wounding on a 2. I did wound because it's strength 8. So
Not a
he
2.
failed the save. So it is a 3 damage profile. Please don't roll a 6 here.
Hey, John.
Oh, he's healed. No wounds.
Nice.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Can we ask you a quick judge question? Because if I remember correctly,
Yeah, 2
this
moments.
was in that one video that you showed, that you had us all watch.
Mm-hmm.
So Mephisto wants to fire his battle pistol at this guy, but he can only see this one, and this one's more than 12 inches out, so he cannot fire the 12-inch plasma pistol.
Correct. Yeah, you have to. The way they worded it and the way they fixed that ruling, he has to declare a target that he can see, even if the unit can be seen. The target still has to be within the range of the weapon.
If that model is obscured, you have -1 to hit.
Like, because Mephisto can't draw a straight line to
You can
that.
only see
Well, it's
part
not
of the base.
-1 to hit in 40k. It's cover bonus.
Yeah.
Obscured is cover bonus. So he's going to gain a +1 to the armor save for
That's
being
it. Yeah,
in
sorry, I got
the ruin. No,
But you
-1 is a kill team thing.
You still can't shoot him.
You're good.
because
Fire away.
you're out of
So attacking this guy into your
Yep.
dude. 3 attacks, you said?
Yep.
The rest of your guys are all fine. Just not this
That's 2 hits because you hit on 3s. And this is not your zealot guy. Your zealot guy's the other one. This
Zell guy's this.
one over here.
This
Like a
guy.
double with the really
Yeah.
long stride. I did get 2 wounds. I got a wound off.
Yep.
Not 2 wounds, but 1 wound and 2 up armor. Made it. So you've activated that one.
Mm-hmm.
You have ongoing combats, so he can attack now.
Just one?
Single attack. Hitting on a 4, wounding on a 4. Nope. Okay. So that ends battle round 2.
And so then none of these guys are doing anything.
Nope. But we do check. Now I control this objective because I have a 3 wound characteristic model on it. So even though you have 2 single wounds,
Yeah.
the 3 wound characteristic model holds that.
Okay.
So it's counted by wound characteristics now.
Yep.
All right, so I'm looking at we actually have to do the morale check because we have models with flesh
Okay.
wounds, and I want to make sure we get that right.
I rolled 6.
So the morale check, nerve test they call it. You must make a nerve test for each model that has a flesh wound. You probably won't fail any. Nerve test for this model. Roll a d6 and apply the following cumulative modifiers. Nobody else is shaken or taken out, so it's not +1. Oh, you do have each other friendly model that is shaken or out of action. You do have 1 model now out of action, right? I killed. No, you lived. No models out of action. Nobody's shaken yet. So you make a test, a d6 test. Hold on. You can't possibly fail
Okay.
because you can't exceed your leadership.
Okay.
With 1 dice and no models out of action, you cannot exceed 10.
What I'm saying is 3
And then you roll 2 6s. I love it. All right.
That was my roll to see who goes first.
Yeah. That's what you should have saved the dice for. Okay, so initiative for battle round 3. Let's. Oh, you do go first. Nice. And then we each got our command point because our leaders are still alive.
So ongoing combats, they don't do anything. They're just in combat still.
They're just in combat still.
Okay.
max range with my hand. But he's considered big enough to see behind the covers.
So that guy needs to ready.
The one guy that did take out Mortarian, he had like 10 chicken walkers with twin lads. And he just,
So
they said that one army was tailored to beat Mortarian.
5 inches you want to charge. It'll be 5 plus 2, it looks like. You go over 5 and out 2. No, you only need 1. So you need a 6 to charge with him.
Oh, and the Plagueburst Crawler has an awesome.
Oh, there's your boxcars.
No, I get it. I'm just trying to figure that there could be a way to do it
And now you've taken that objective back.
There's a lot of
Yeah, because I got 5 or 4.
4 wounds on that objective.
fails his invul and doesn't hit his 6-up armor. But at 6-up armor, you're going to drop to the invul anyway. At 4.
You're only going to get one shot through him every turn.
This guy's gonna advance.
I had, I took out half a space behind me. Like, he surrounded them, and then another one, they brought in 5 Thunderwolf cavalry.
So 1.
A Wolf Lord on a Thunderwolf, and.
So I don't want to get all the way to there because I don't want you to just shoot me. So
Trying to stay hidden.
yes, trying to stay hidden, but having an easy charge next turn.
Got it.
Right?
That sounds
That's a
good.
pretty good spot to me.
Because he has 4 Warlord trees.
Um,
And you get to pick
3
one.
that come stock, and then what do you pick, basically?
so he's not really doing anything. I think he should probably
Open
just
the
charge
door,
as
move
well.
through, step on the
Yeah, you get to
objective.
pick one and be like, okay, this one. You get a,
Oh, right.
like, the one I always go to is one, you get a reroll.
What did you score?
Oh, I
We're in
had
turn 3.
Oh, turn 2. So turn 2, I don't think I had any of my secondaries.
have other stuff where I can boost it all the way to 12.
Okay, that's
Do you run the ferryman?
What?
Do you run the ferryman?
Nope.
I'm working again.
Nope.
So I can do the Horizon.
so technically, if
Nope.
got
I scored no secondaries. I did control 1 objective, but not more than you.
So you got 1?
So I got 1 point for primary on turn 2. That was on turn 2. Turn 1, I
Yeah.
scored 0.
okay, Kane's gonna get guys.
That was your turn 1.
Oh.
Low intensity last pulse.
Yeah. So your turn 2.
I just controlled 1 at the start of it.
Yeah. So you had 1 point for control. Did you get any of your secondaries?
No.
Okay. Neither did I. So secondaries, I think we chose poorly on our secondaries.
Yes.
I think we did.
But come on, you
At the end of the game, we'll have a lot more on it. So he advanced. He's going to take a normal move and go for the objective, it looks like, for the end of the game position. Or no? Are you good where you're at? You save that for the end of the game because that's the one you need at the end of the game, right?
2.
Your other gun?
I just want to see.
Where do you think you stand right now, Judge, in the battle?
It's
So that's
hard with a small
2.
kill team to do board control, and I don't want to step into this guy because he's just going to cut me to pieces. I'm trying to kill him where he stands and then run for that at the end of the game.
So no, he's just gonna.
But I am going to have to start moving there, so
I
this
don't-
round I'm going to have to move out.
I don't think he'll get a shot, but we're gonna go ahead and ready him just in case.
There's also a stratagem to protect the doorway or cover the doorway. So if that doorway opens, you can take a shot.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have anybody that's gonna open the doorway.
This is true, not from where I'm at.
Because how do you clear this?
You can't. That's too far. You can maximum you can clear is 3, and with a stratagem you can jump across.
So your
to
scout
3
would have
inches.
to come around.
Yeah, no, he's got to go through that guy.
Or you can come this way, right?
He's got to go through that guy. I don't have time
So
to go
we'll
that
call
way.
that a charge, but what am I looking at?
Yeah, here
Right
or
there?
here. So you got to move within an inch. So your charge distance would be, you would move. What you have to move is around the terrain or up over it. Up over it, we give you a 7-inch charge. Would be a successful charge.
Yep.
Sounds good. 2 dice. Come on, heavy number. There's a 7. Rocking and rolling.
Yep.
Coming to cut him down. Yep.
Instead of just getting shot all the time.
Yeah, he's not like getting shot. It looked like.
Mm-hmm. So that's it for my guys.
That's your moves.
Yeah.
So
So these guys they don't get any markers because they're already in combat.
you call it a normal activation, so you remember which models you've
Okay.
activated and which ones you haven't. So normal activation for the models that didn't move or fall back. So he's going to stay there, so that's normal activation.
And this guy's a normal activation. But this guy's a charger, so he will attack first.
This is going to charge.
That guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
He is still a Marine.
He's still a Marine.
So I need a 4.
He's the zealot, not the combat specialist.
Yeah. Zealot is good, though.
So
4. And he does have 2 attacks, I believe, because he's a Primaris Marine. This one's going to advance.
what I'm asking is if I was to charge here with the
So advancing 5 plus 5 is 10.
shoot through even though it's considered ground level.
Yes, because he's touching the wall.
So you can just jump over it regularly.
Oh shoot! No, you're right.
No, my model is.
I had to use a command point, and I have to roll not a 2, so not a 1 or a 2, a 3 or better to clear it.
Okay.
Got
And he
it.
can
So
go
he-
through the wall too.
So he
And
can
then
go over
still
it
the
and still make a
you
reverse.
still got your advance roll stays the same.
Yep. So I'm just moving to
Yeah.
there. I'm going to try and get backside of there just for
I can
reasons, but That's that. You're right. You're right. There was a stratagem to be able to jump across,
Yes.
and it worked.
It's okay. I made you burn your command points.
Yes, you did. Down to 1. So now I can't interrupt here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a charge. So this is a run. It advanced, which means you cannot fire. This was a charge. A normal. And what do I want to do with him? I can't fall back because I've been charged this turn. So I'm just going to activate normal. And when we get to the shooting phase, he'll fire his pistol.
Okay.
I think he has pistols. I'm going to double check to see if a heavy one has a pistol or not.
I think
He
all
might.
intercessors have pistols.
But I don't think the heavy ones do.
Really?
Let me double check.
Because they're carrying the big heavy weapon.
That's what this is a new model, and I just have to look. So heavy intercessor, armed with a heavy bolt rifle, bolt pistol, okay, and frag grenades. So it does have the grenades.
You got throw a grenade?
No. Can't throw a grenade in combat.
But I thought you were in combat yet.
Oh, I am. He engaged me.
Oh, okay.
He made it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to the shooting phase. Readied models first. I have no ready models this time. You do. So,
I do, but no targets.
Yep. So they'll
So he's just done?
Yep. He's just done. So we're past the ready stage. Now we go into regular shooting.
What about that guy?
And you have priority. So
Isn't that guy ready?
he is.
Yeah, but he has no
doesn't
targets.
have a target. He doesn't have a pistol, so he can't shoot into combat. Only pistols can shoot into combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ready marker. Yep. So I have 2 models with pistols that are able to shoot.
Okay.
So I'm going to choose, and I think this one has a heavy bolt pistol as well. Double check. Heavy intercessor has a bolt pistol, regular, just a regular bolt pistol, and the eliminator has a bolt pistol, regular bolt pistol. So we're going to try bolt pistols. I can't use it the turn I charge there, so I can't, but he can fire.
Okay.
Oh, turn you got charged. No, you can't use it the turn you got charged either. Charged or got charged, you cannot use the pistol.
So no shooting.
So no shooting. Going
Okay.
into the fun combats. Chargers first. You choose where you want to go, and I have no command points to interrupt, so it looks like all your chargers are going to... I have a charger here, but you get to activate the first charge.
So I can activate both of these guys and then pay 2 to interrupt there?
No.
Or I have to pay 2
your
now?
first... You have to pay 2 right now
Yeah.
to activate that guy before
But then,
any of your charging
then these
models.
2 guys will still go first.
No. Yeah, these 2 will still go before mine will.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'll pay 2 for him.
Okay, so you're going to pay 2 for the command points. There we go. And then he activates first.
Yep.
3 attacks.
Good move. Good move.
All hit.
Trying here, dude, but I'm not doing a very good job.
T4, so 4 is to wound.
One of the most resilient.
There are 2 wounds there. I only have a 3-up armor because I can't benefit from camo cloak. I did take a wound, so that's good.
Is it a flesh wound?
Not yet, because he has a 2-wound model. So that was good. So he's done.
Okay. So
And now you get your other 2 combats.
combat specialist.
Yep.
3 attacks or 4?
Combat specialist is 4 attacks. He's 3 normally, but he gets
Right,
an additional
but
1.
plus
Now
1.
you are -1 to hit, so you're not hitting on 3s anymore. Now you're hitting on 4s
Because I'm
of your flesh
wound.
wound.
Okay.
Correct.
Now, I have a question. Does this count as being against something with no escape or no?
No, it's if I was up against actually at the end of the is it walls or because I'm at the end of the board, so it might be no escape for the end of the board.
Just checking.
A wall, door, or terrain feature or pitfall. So no, not wall, door, terrain feature, or pitfall. So wall, door, terrain feature, or pitfall. So he did hit twice, which is average, and he wounded once. That's good. +2 strength. So that is a wound and negative a bunch. So it goes right through my armor and flat 2 damage.
Okay.
So it's going to put me all the way down to 1 wound.
Okay.
Is that the dice that came with the Pariah box?
What?
Those black and orange ones?
No, these are all part of the kill team dice that I
gotta
had
get some
set.
of those black and orange ones.
These are the ones that came with the original kill
We
team
have
set.
black and orange dice.
No,
the-
I mean like the
No,
black
I know.
with orange.
The black ones came in the original kill team box.
Yeah.
The orange ones we got as part of the campaign that we ran when we did the kill team campaign. They gave out dice
Nice.
and these objective markers were given out during the campaign. I used to have a lot extras, and people were playing them, and I was just handing them out to kids playing Kill Team because we didn't have that many people. We had 20 sets, and we only had 10 people sign up for the Kill Team League. So I was
So
handing them out
Charger?
to anybody that was playing 40K at a time.
2.
And do you have a CP reroll in this game for
Yes.
dice?
Tactical reroll.
2 wounds.
Into here
Yes.
from the charging guy.
Yes.
And I do have the Storm Shield, which is a 4-up invul. So we're going to take those. 1 goes through. Damage is flat 2. So he's going to be... Do I have any more 2-wounders? I do not. So I'm going to use this as a wound marker.
Okay.
He has 2 regular wounds on him. No, we're good. I got it.
Okay,
That's fine.
red dice.
Well, we're using that one. That's fine. It'll work fine. That's what they're there for.
He has 2 wounds left on it?
No, he's taken 2.
Oh, you're counting up.
Counting, yeah, I'm counting up. So they got 1 wound
Okay.
remaining. So that's how many wounds they've taken.
Okay.
Just makes it easier for me with multiple wounds.
So now so your charger will activate next.
Yes, Charger's going to activate. He's got 2 attacks. He's not a sergeant.
You gotta finish off that storm shield guy, you think?
I have no idea.
2 hits on 3s because we're Marines.
Yeah, maybe.
And wounding on 4s, no wounds.
So now I get to activate with this guy because it's not 40k 9th edition.
Correct.
I'd go with the flayed one, right? Because
Yeah, this
3
guy?
attacks. Hitting on 3s.
Ooh, 2.
2 wounds.
You got it?
2s. Yep, we're good. All right.
No AP on the little guy there?
No, it's -1, but I have a storm shield
Yeah,
and I'm a
so-
Terminator, so
yep.
it goes from a 1 up to a 2 up.
Yeah.
Still makes the 2 up. So
So
It is-
Two clarifications.
it is my combat specialist. I did not charge this turn. I'm going to spread the love.
Okay.
So this is how this works. So I'm going to go 2 attacks into this guy who keeps pounding on my face. 1 attack here and 1 attack here.
Nice.
Well, can I ask you a question? Why would you do that? Because don't you get an extra attack against these 2 guys since they're against the wall and they have no escape?
They get +1 to hit. That's why I'm only using the
Gotcha.
single attack to the side and 2 attacks forward. See how that works?
Gotcha,
That's
yeah.
what I'm doing. So we'll do the 2 attacks forward because that's the one I really need to knock down. And I hit him both times. So it's -1 to hit. Well, I'm basically overriding the -1 by swinging at these guys in the wall.
Okay.
So I'll be hitting on 3s. So here we go for wounding on 2s. Oh no, 3s. Only wounding on 3s because it is T5 on that model. That's a single wound, -3, or -2 because it's a Thunder Hammer.
And he has no invuln, right?
No. But he made it. 3 up goes to a 5 up. Beautiful. Nice roll. All right.
Splitting
So
hex never works. No.
there we go. Attack there. Fail. Attack here. Does hit because of the up against the wall deal. So we're gonna roll to wound. Does wound. He's only got a 4 up armor, so
Yep,
that takes
so
him
no.
all the way down. It's gonna be flat 3 damage. So I'm gonna roll 3 injury rolls. No
Roll 6.
6s.
Roll 1 6.
Nope. He is
So he's
taken
deleted?
out of action. 4, 5, or 6.
So he's squished.
So he is dead.
So Space Marine boot. Crunch.
And now
so that
nobody
guy-
can test that. Nobody holds that objective now because you have 2, 3.
Oh
and
no,
I have
'cause
3.
he's the
total.
guy that hadn't attacked yet. This guy
Yep.
did.
He's already attacked. That was the one that hasn't. And it's all combats. Over here. You already swung?
Yes.
I get to swing back. So 2 attacks. He's the sergeant. He has 3 attacks. Hitting back. 2 hits. Wounding. 1 wound.
Yeah, no,
Save it.
I had a definitely.
He does. There's no negative to AP.
And this guy just does nothing.
Yep. So we're both done and out. Okay, so
Dang.
we're going to check this round. This round here, it looks like we have, I have no injury, or no flesh wounds. You still do, but you can't possibly fail here or here. So we're going to look at points now. Nobody holds this one, but I hold this one.
Yes.
So I hold 1 and hold more. So I get 2
Yes.
points to the primary at the end of 3. And I killed a model. I took a model out of action, which means I get a 3rd point in primary.
Okay.
And I'm going to reveal a secondary, which was 2 secondaries. I killed a high-profile target, which was your scout or your veteran specialist,
Okay.
your vet.
Yep.
And I secured this objective. Score 1 point for each objective. No, that's the end of the game. This is the one. Command and control node. This is the command and control node by the mission. So the mission, the command and control node was the command node down here. So that's this one over here. So I got a point for control node and a point for killing one of your specialists.
Okay. So 5.
Yep.
Oh, by the way,
And now those are revealed for the remainder of the game. So every specialist I kill, I'm going to get a point, and every round that I hold this, I get a point. So now we roll for initiative on this fantastic. This is turn 4 now. Final
That's it.
turn of the game. We get our command point back,
And I scored nothing.
I couldn't raise one over here because I had
and you get your command point back to 3. Here we go. Grand total of 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll take the first. I don't have a choice.
we know now. We learned it the hard way.
So he's just going to stay and fight. I think that's what that actual symbol means. Instead of move, that's what this symbol is. He's just going to fight. I think that's what that symbol means. I don't remember.
So you guys are all stuck. Is it like Warhammer 40K where whoever, or does the active player go first?
It's who we roll each turn, and it's
Oh,
called the
that's
player has
right.
initiative. So I start the movement phase. This model's actually going to ready.
Oh, this is the final round.
This
huh?
is the final round. I'm going to ready. This model's going to fall back.
Over to my side.
It's going to move 3 inches because that's all we get in the fall back.
I'll put them off the table for you real quick.
I believe that's how fallback works. Let me double check. I think it's 3 inches. I think I actually make a normal move, but
I
I'll
think the
double
guys-
check.
I said you could. Oh no, Overwatch is where you can fall back 3 inches or shoot Overwatch.
Yeah, I think
That's,
it's in the movement falling.
there's a lot in this game when you watch the videos.
There's a lot more that we're not using also. We're just using normal move, advancing, falling back. Enemy model cannot. Just makes a normal move, so it's 5 inches. And we're actually going to go this way, 5 inches.
Right on one of those thumbs, I wish I
And you don't have to go up and over the.
I do, but there's no penalty because it's moving up and over terrain, as long as I don't end my movement on it. So he fell back with his 2 wounds.
Uncle, intervene.
Gonna stay and fight. We're gonna stay and fight.
This is your last turn. Burn all your CP.
Yeah, we're gonna try. You gonna stay and fight as well?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, we got
He ain't scared.
And then this turn, I'm assuming you're gonna move through and snag the last objective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so door's pulled and his normal move.
There's really nothing for this guy to do.
You can't move and shoot.
You can,
I don't have a survival.
but he
Is
has
there
no.
any way you can get a line of sight on this guy, Brendan? If you go far
No,
enough
there's a
down?
there's a wall.
No, I mean like he even if he drops.
So
all the way
could
over.
charging across this, what'll that do?
Oh, that's a good point. Now, moving across this is a 2 inches this way and then over. I agree with him. I think I'm moving back to here. See if you can get a beat on this guy.
See if there's a.
You are a gun model. See if you can get to a point where you see any part of that model's base. How far would you have to go?
Yeah,
You get
but
the
see, then
line.
you
No.
walk through there.
How far would you have to
No,
go?
I
Yeah,
can't
you-
get line sight at all.
Yeah, it'd be too far. Okay, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah, I think the only thing he can do
Well,
is
you could
temper-
jump and then make your move, and then as long as your move, let's see, you're 1 inch to the barrier. Your jump is a roll. That's a command point.
Okay.
You just need to roll the 2 or better. Don't roll the 1. And then you could make 3 more inches. See if you can get right to here. See if that would give you a benefit of line of sight. I don't think it will.
Nope.
No. Okay. So there's nothing he can do this round. He's kind of,
We can attempt to charge, couldn't he?
well, he could try.
You need to go
But I think I don't know if
-2,
I
right?
think the stratagem for jumping the pitfall is determined to leap. Use this tactic in the movement phase when you pick the model skeleton to move. So yeah, you can, but you have to determine leap, and you need the 2 to make it, and it just counts as
That's a
a
CP to do that?
single.
I mean, he's not doing anything else at all, so.
And you
Might
need
as
him to
well
get it. Need him to get an objective. And if you fail, you can still move close, maybe close enough, because you got to be within 2 inches of the objective.
So this is to leap. Don't roll a 2.
Don't roll a 1.
I asked if
You're good.
Okay.
Because you're moving this way across that 2 inch
Yeah.
span. So now you take a normal. Now you charge 2 dice.
Yeah.
Is that it?
8.
charge and movement, then
Yeah, because you don't measure the distance across the gap.
Yeah.
He'll make it.
He's in there.
Made it in there. So I have to kill another model. 2 models now.
And you get first attack, right, Brandon?
now if
Yeah, he will now.
reason Matthew brings him down.
Can your shooting Necron?
I know.
And that guy's obviously going to charge.
I roll 3 dice, and you look for 4s. 1.
4's in there.
Now, I thought for some reason you couldn't charge after you fell back. I don't believe that's legal. Let me double check that. Because when you fall back from a unit,
Mm-hmm. You can't recharge it.
I don't think you can recharge it. Let me double check. There's something about that. Only like Kraken used to be able to do that, but nobody else could really do that. It's called a fall back and charge kind of deal, but it's different. Let me double check this on charging.
But why would I be penalized for you falling back?
No, the idea is that the model is not supposed to be able to re-engage, but let me double check here. After all reactions have been resolved, making a charge roll by 2d6, the charging model can move up to the... I could be way wrong. So charge distance, the successful charge roll must be within an inch of the target. The model does not have to said to have charged the enemy models within an inch of it.
Mason says the board looks awesome.
Charged. Model
Mason.
cannot finish its move while the following restrictions. Charge fails, however, it is not said to have charged. However, the model can move up to its charge distance as long as it makes close as possible to charge targets and not within an inch. That's the make to charge move. Okay, so charging. Here we go. So pick the charge sequence. So in the movement phase, at the beginning of the movement phase. So moving over terrain, advancing, falling back, charging. No, there's something about that. I remember when you pick a model to move that is not within 1 inch of an enemy model and is within 12 inches of an enemy, and it is within 12 inches of any model, can make a normal move and can declare it as an attempt at the charge following the charge sequence below. However, this is something I'm going to do with fallback. Fly, advancing, readying. No, maybe you can retreat. A model cannot retreat if it has already made a move of any kind attempting to charge. In this phase, a model cannot retreat if it fired Overwatch. Can retreat if it has already fired Overwatch in this phase. When a model retreats, it can be moved up to 3 inches, controlling player. I can fire Overwatch, it looks like, my reaction.
Even though you fell back?
Because Overwatch is a special type of shooting attack that is described on 31. A target model can potentially fire Overwatch several times in a battle round. A target model cannot retreat if it has already made a move of any kind. If it has already fired Overwatch in the phase, or when the model retreats, it can be moved up to 3 inches by the controlling player. What was your roll? 4?
Yeah.
I didn't get an option to react before you rolled.
Okay.
But I would have not fell back any farther. I didn't want you to get on the objective. That's where I wanted to be anyway. So that's fine. Yeah, I seemingly remember something about that, but I will look it up later and we'll check back. It looks like that would be a valid option.
Yeah.
The idea of readying him was to shoot that guy, fall back from him and shoot that guy.
Yeah.
But that would only be beneficial if I was the second person to move.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be able to fall back from a charge.
Right.
So staying there and firing my pistol would have probably been the better option, and not readying that model because he had no other targets.
He wouldn't have done anything anyways.
Well, yeah, that's true. But here I could fire a
he
pistol.
could have shot at that guy over there.
Well, here I could have fired a pistol, and now because he's been charged again, he
Yeah.
can't fire his pistol. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that was a faulty play, but that's all right. If you take out my leader, you take out my leader, and that'd be good. Maybe you got cut off the head. I don't know. I was really trying to kill your specialist, but I don't think that's going to work now.
But you can kill my my other guy on the objective over there with him.
No, you can't. Cause
Oh, there's a wall in the
there's
way.
a wall in there.
Stupid two-dimensional battlefield.
It takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go into shooting, and I only have one pistol because I didn't get charged this turn. So, single pistol, here we go. It did hit. I did not wound.
Sweet.
2 command points.
Oh, we're having a think on the.
I'm gonna wait. Yep, that's good. So he's done shooting.
Okay.
So I mean, it's up to you guys, but since you're learning, do you want to go back and do
No, it's not going to make it. It really wouldn't make that big of a difference if the pistol does wound a toughness 5 model. I would need a 3 to hit and a 5 to wound, and then he would have to fail a regular armor save of a 3+. The chances are very, very slim. There's really no reason to go back. It's part of learning. So as we learn, we play, we learn. So we might be able to get a second game in with time frame. So
Charging models?
so if we're done with shooting, then he had no targets, so he just sits there and bees as chud in the mud.
Has no targets.
Yep. So first charger would be that model there, that Necron, who jumped.
Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, you can choose either. You can choose whichever one you want. Because I can choose to interrupt if you.
Yeah, I'll go here first.
I think I'm actually going to interrupt before you do it. So I'm going to spend
I
2
don't
command
get
points.
to-
If you spend 2 command points, then we roll off to see who fights first. That's how the charge. That's how the interrupting charge. It's called the. Oh, this
So
is
then
your
you
combat
can-
specialist,
yes.
right? So
it's
he
1.
can spend 1,
So,
and
but-
I have to spend 2.
I don't get an activation before you get to interrupt? You
No,
just interrupt right
how,
away?
how it works is it's called Decisive Strike. Use this tactic at the start of the fight phase. Pick a model from your kill team that is eligible to fight with before any other model fights. If another player uses this tactic, roll off. So that one doesn't work. You have to use the Decisive Strike. You have to use the 2 command points. So I'm using my last 2 command points to swing first.
With
Before you
your sergeant?
No, just swinging first.
Oh, and it doesn't declare where?
It doesn't use this tactic to start a fight phase. Pick a model from your kill team that is able to fight. It's going to be this guy. Yep.
So like in the old ways.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to do with the command points.
Okay.
You
So we both roll off. We work a single dice roll and the high roll. Oh, sorry. Well, I get to go first. So I'm going to do my 3 attacks into your guy. That's all 3 hits. I'm going to need 5s and no 5s. And no command points, a way to re-roll it.
So this guy?
Yep, now charging models. So you can choose whichever one you want. Doesn't matter.
2.
1.
1.
Yeah, Necron's with a gun. He does. He's gun. Does wound. Watch this 2-up armor fail. Nope, we're good.
Okay, so and
So
4
he's
for
done?
my specialist.
Yep, and he's hit on 4s because he's flesh wounded. So
Well,
2
wait,
again.
wait, hold on a sec. Hold on.
Yeah.
Because you're against the wall, right? What-
Yes, so we'll be hitting on
So the
3s.
3 was good.
Yep, so 3 hits.
I'm not trying to interrupt.
No, it's good because that's a new rule. That wasn't a rule before. So the 3 wounds, they go through. So it's a 2 damage weapon, so you roll 2 dice to see if you get through an injury roll. Oh, it's -4, so I can't do anything about the armor.
Why did I only roll
2, because the weapon that took him out had a damage profile of 2.
So it doesn't matter that I hit you
Doesn't
3
matter
times?
that you hit me 3 times.
That's so
Whatever
weird.
finishes him, that does take him out. That takes him out of action.
I don't get a
And
pile
you-
in or consolidate?
You have a 3-inch consolidation.
But you have more wounds, so that doesn't
Correct.
matter.
So that's still my objective. And now,
Your
combats.
initiative with ongoing.
So ongoing, and I have the turn, or you had the turn? I went first.
You went
so I had
first.
the turn. So I choose the first ongoing. I'm going to start here.
Yep.
He's got to kill him off.
Well, I'm going to throw my 4 attacks at these 2 models.
Really?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
So-
you want to attack him? Because these guys aren't going to kill you back?
Well, this one's already swung. So the 2 that haven't swung would be
Okay.
the smartest move. So we'll do 2 into the one that has not swung yet, and fail, and 2 into this guy, and 1 hit, and 1 wound. So -3, you don't get an armor save, so don't roll the 6 again. No flesh wound, or no, he gets a flesh wound.
I think I would have put all into the leader.
Into this guy.
Yeah.
It's the last turn, so he's got to.
I have to clear 1 model off,
Yeah.
and I failed to do that. So you get this objective, I get this objective, you get this objective, and at the end of the game, you get points for that.
Yes.
And we get this combat over here. So you choose the next ongoing combat.
Well, yeah, we're here.
Yep, seems good.
3.
Yep. So it's 2 hits, 2 wounds, 3 up, save them both. Attack back 2 times, 1 hit, no wounds,
3 attacks for my leader.
all hit, all wound. 2 go through, so that's going to take him off his last wound. Now, if it's a 2 damage weapon, so you're going to roll an injury roll, 2 dice. He is taken out of action.
Nice job.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you should have put everything into him.
Well, I didn't kill either way. I missed both
Yeah.
times. I missed 3 out of the 4.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have mattered either way. So, yeah, I don't think taking Necrons with multi-damage weapons is so difficult to do. Usually multi-damage weapons are what you want to take against everybody else. So, I think that's it. I've already done my swing back here. We've already got the fallback model is dead. So now what we do is we look for points at the end of turn 4. And we...
So this is the end, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Area secured. So I got 1 objective. I hold this one because I have more guys on it than you do.
Yep.
More wounds on it than you do. So I have
hold
1 point for
2.
that one. But you hold more. So
Yes.
let's do primaries first.
Yes.
You hold at least 1 and more and kill the guy. So you get 3 points in primary. So I hold at least 1, killed nobody, and don't hold more. So I only get 1 in primary. So we go into secondary.
What's that?
End of the game, area secured.
At the
I got
end?
1 point for area secured.
Okay.
I got 1 point for holding the command and control node. And I did not kill a specialist, which I was trying to do.
Okay. At the end of the battle, score 1 victory point for each objective you control. When an enemy specialist other than the leader is taken out, score 1 victory point.
Other than leader, so 1 more.
At the end of the shooting phase, I didn't do that.
Okay, so add them up. I don't think I won.
I win by 1.
You win by 1.
Right
Okay.
on.
So that's how they play. That is mission 1.
Dozer, you want to go mission 2?
Sure. I want to go eat breakfast first, though.
Go eat.
Yeah.
Go eat. I'll set the board up for mission 2. We'll reset. We'll use the same kill teams. We'll just play on and try again. Now we got a
It'll
little.
go
It'll go
quicker.
way faster now. With the understand. So you want to pause stream or how do you want to do it?
How
Have
long
they
is it going to take you?
I'll be at least 20 minutes. You might as well pause.
Yeah, I'll kill the stream and we'll be back.
All right, we'll be back for the second half of this. We're going to go into the next mission, which is Purge, and it's the same. Actually, let's flip the board over because it's got a different. There's a different board on the other side.
Why don't we go over? Let's go to the overhead. And what would you say, looking at, was like your big like oops? Would it be like the fallback here?
That was just my oops. He's right. I probably should have put all my attacks here. With the rolls I rolled, it didn't matter. And then my first heavy bolter rolling 3 1s in the first shooting phase, that was really bad. So I just had some really. I mean, I hate to say dice, but that was a pretty poor maneuver. I usually as Marines, a lot of people think you have to get to the middle of the board. You only really want to throw your combat models in the middle of the board so your shooting models can still do their job.
Yeah.
So you cover them with firepower, which is what I was trying to do, but I just realized that if I didn't go this way, and it was a long shot, but if I got him and cleared him, I could have moved 3 inches and then got it on this objective with a 2 wound model, which would have been pretty beneficial to me. That was my goal here, and it didn't work out either. I guess I haven't played a lot of Necrons, so not knowing how resilient they really were. He only reanimated one guy went back to full wounds. But that would have been so bad had he rolled a 6 because he would have just wiped all the wounds off and go like, hey, I stand right back up.
If you now that you know the shooting a little better, would you have placed your shooting models in a little different spots? Or?
Yes.
I probably would
Because you
have.
kind of placed them back here behind the big
Yeah.
lava pit or
I
what's that
probably
called? Pitfall.
a pitfall.
So you probably would have put them over here. Or
I probably wouldn't run these guys at all.
The gunners.
Yeah.
Well, we can change the kill team if you want to put two
Yeah.
more flailed ones in.
Okay, so let's kill it there. So we're gonna
We're gonna make some changes. We'll talk about changes.
Yeah.
I get some ideas. There's actually, if you want to run with the secondary.